What's up guys, this is Barnman2205. I'm looking a little scruffy because I wasn't planning on recording today, but Pokemon, that gosh darn Pokemon company, put out a couple new trailers last night, right as I was going to bed, and I had to record. I had to really quickly just talk about them. There isn't a whole lot to say. There was nothing too earth-shattering in them apart from one thing, which we'll get to at the end here. But just really quick, first was the Legends Arceus, because that trailer technically came out a minute sooner, so we'll talk about that one first. Nothing too crazy. They showed off the UI. They introduced a bunch of new characters that I'm like, okay, there's some new characters. Trainer customization is back, and it's like completely customizable, which I wasn't even thinking about. I just kind of assumed that was there, but that's cool. And they showed a boss fight against a new Pokemon called Kleavor, which, in my opinion, is a dumb name for a Pokemon. It sounds, once you're 800 Pokemon in, Kleavor sounds a little uninspired. It sounds like a Transformer, and like one of the bad ones, like, Kleavor, get Optimus now! Yes, Megatron. I don't know. He looks kind of cool. But, Kleavor, bit of a disappointing name. Anyway, my opinions on Arceus are pretty much the same as they always were. I'm sure I'll play it and I'll be like, oh, cool, this is actually really cool. At the moment, I'm kind of a bit iffy on it, but, I've got it pre-ordered. I'm going to play it, the usual jazz. Anyway, let's get to BDSP, which, again, nothing too earth-shattering. They were just talking about some stuff. Then they got to the Pocketch, which is what I call it. It's probably pronounced something different, but I call it the Pocketch. If you may or may not remember the Pocketch from Diamond and Pearl and Platinum. It was basically the second screen function. Like in-game it was your watch, ooh, and it was the bottom screen, and it had different apps. Like there was one that checked for item finders, there was one that looked at your Pokemon's happiness and all these different things. There's a new one called the HM app, and the trailer didn't explain it too well, because it's like, look, there's an app for HMs, and like he presses the Surf HM, and then he hops on a Bidoof. I think it was a B-Barrel actually, but he hops on the B-Barrel and he starts surfing. And I'm going, wait, so does that mean you still need the Pokemon in your party, but maybe you don't have to teach it the move? That's better, I guess, but it's still HMs. But I thought, had a big brain moment, and I was like, oh, let's check the website just in case they've updated it and it clarifies it a bit. And sure enough, according to the website, once you select an HM move, it summons a wild Pokemon to perform the action for you, which means it's basically ride Pokemon from Sun and Moon, so HMs, you don't need them on your team at all whatsoever, which is great. That is exactly what we wanted to hear. I said last time, I play the older Pokemon games all the time, so it's not like I've been spoilt by the new ones, and I'm like, oh, I can't go back to HMs, mwah. Like, it's not a deal breaker for me, but knowing that they're not in there is a huge plus. Now, the legitimate only concern I have about this game now is how the XP share works, which they've been oddly quiet about, and I'm sure we'll get to it. And it'll probably just be the group XP share thing, and I'll go like, oh man, and then I'll move on with my life, because at the end of the day, it's a video game, and it really is not that big of a deal. Anyway, and then they talked about Amity Square. That's another thing the website said. You don't actually get the Pokemon following you until you've been to Amity Square, which, if I remember correctly, is a couple towns in, so people should temper your expectations and don't be like, hey, I'm gonna get my Chimchar to follow me from the start of the game. Wait, why isn't he following me? Why? So just be careful of that. It is weird though, because in other games it has been accessible, if not immediately, like right at the start of the game. Like once you get access to Pokeballs, it's like, oh, by the way, your Pokemon can follow you. How cool is that? Or in the DLC, which they've done in previous ones, which was weird. But anyway, that was it. That was all. This video is like 5 minutes long because there isn't too much to say other than HMs are back, or they're not back. But, well, the HMs themselves are back, but you don't need to put them on the Pokemon. HMs are good. HMs are good. Let's go with that. That's all I needed to say. I'm gonna go do some off-camera recording now. Ooh, foreshadowing, which I didn't need to shave for. I'll be off. Keep it a like, subscribe, all that funky chicken, and I will see you guys later. Keep it real. Keep it Barnman.